Good morning, America. One second. Oh, this actually worked. All right. Good morning. Good morning, Cadoodle. Can you G-kick Polar? I fucking wish. If I was in control of the guild, you know I would be kicking Polar. You know that. Let's hop on looking. Good morning. Good morning. Election 4 is open. Dear God. Quite frankly, I want these elections to be over, man. One day. Oh, there's a fifth one. Oh, I was waiting for something to disappear. Oh, there's a fifth one. Bless the capybara. If only. How's your morning going? Chill. Actually recorded a video for once. So we should have a video out soon that's not just election propaganda. Pretty cool. Um, you know. Yeah, it's currently bad. Currently bad. The election booth, we're not looking too hot. Why are there little dafty? Why do we got people sitting up here? Currently, we're not even in the top 3. They made so I don't know why you can't see if you don't have 100 votes who's up here. I hate this feature because I was just so blank. I hate this. We got to get the capybara pet into the game. I think there's gonna be a lot of workshopping on what to do with it, but just woke up. Good morning. I woke up like like 2 hours ago at this point. Been a chill morning. I don't know. I don't know why we're pushing so many mayor elections. I'm not gonna lie. I really don't like. I don't see the vision in this for what they're trying to do. Like, if I'm not wrong, um, yeah, this election closes a day or 2 days before Christmas. Like, I don't get why we're pushing so many elections. I feel like we're not even gonna get base mayor perks because no one's gonna be responding and no admins are gonna be online. There's a fifth election, yeah. Fifth election booth opens in 5 days and 3 hours. Like, why? Just why, man? My God. One day we'll be free, but I don't know. Ara's been very fun. I will say that. I think it's probably been some of the most chaotic Skyblock ever. Quite literally ever. Oh my God. The Slayers, Diana, everything is just so broken magic find wise. Like, see, even if I were to check right now, just 400 magic find. If there's a six, I'm sorry. They cannot do a sixth. A sixth would literally run through Christmas. There's no way they're doing a sixth one. I think they have to stop at 5. I don't believe there's another world. I don't know, man. What do you think is the best thing to do in Skyblock? Literally anything. Quite literally anything you want to do in the game is the best thing to do. That's the thing. I did dragons yesterday, and that was like chill as hell. I've been doing a lot of Rev Slayer. If I go over here, can I even call him Annex? Yeah. I've been working on a lot of Rev Slayer, especially with last election when 25% Slayer XP was active. Getting close to the matcha die at 55%. Probably work a little bit on this today. Anything with an RNG meter, if you need to like work on anything with that, if you're like an Iron Man especially, go for that. The skill XP bonuses, 80% skill XP, please use that if you're not max skills. Do we know when R is ending? No. No, we don't. Oh shit. Look at we. Look at we. Thank you for everyone voting Candypat. Thank you, thank you. You know which mayor perks are active? Literally no clue. People try to keep up, but like it's so buggy with it's just so buggy because not only does nothing tell you, but if the new year changes in Hypixel Skyblock, it will, like, assuming there was a rotation after the new year, the rotation will fully change. So it's just so bad. Not gonna lie, Lejimbo's better. Lejimbo's a fraud. Okay? I don't get the reason people are voting for him because people haven't thought it through. If Correct me if I'm wrong, his latest opinion on what he wanted to do for mayor is that he wanted to remove every talisman and the spirit mask and the flower minion from the DA. We went ahead and looked at the DA drops. There would be 3 pets, there would be a warp scroll, there would be the contact, there'd be the die, and there might be one more thing I'm forgetting. So unironically, there is either 6 or 7 items. I'm not even saying that to be funny. There's every second DA, you're getting the same thing. It's just horrible. All his perks are bad. Listen, I'm not gonna shit on the guy. I just don't like his perks. I think people gotta realize that if that were to go through, we're killing the dark auction, and I don't think the admins would allow that. Oh, tier 6 books. Yeah, tier 6 books would be in there. So maybe like 8 items. 8, 9 items, something like that in the dark auction. That's it. Listen, I'm not against voting in a candidate if they have good perks, but like some people's perks have been just so unrealistic. I was DMing ZJ2 yesterday, and I was like, listen, I personally, I'll tell you this, like, if I win, that would be cool. If I don't win, like, at the same time, it's like not the end of the world. But the issue in my eyes is people who think they just have the most amount of power when it comes to mayor perks. Because quite frankly, you cannot be put up here and add whatever you want into the game. That's the issue. There's limits to everything you could do. There's gonna be, like, just even before we talk about overpowered stuff, like removing a 2/3 of what's in the dark auction. Come on. Can't wait for the coal ticket. Yeah. No, ZJ's idea was definitely the best out of all those. I'm not a huge fan of the Dragoon thing because, like, I mean, it might add something like a talisman or something at the end, but like a hunt. How many people are really contributing to a hunt? Um, Let alone if they're even gonna code that in, might I add. might I even add that? Interest had a cool perk. Interest had a cool perk if it was added into the game. Again, I said this before. Interest had a good perk. I'm not gonna deny that. I think it was a really good perk. If it was in the game, I would love it. But this, you're not winning Hypixel Skyblock president. You're a minister, and you're trying to change the whole game. Admin's low-key lazy. I wouldn't even say that. I think if we're gonna be fully honest with ourselves, we're underestimating how long even the simplest stuff takes to be added into the game. And the people who want stuff in the game that are running will the most outrageous stuff. What's the perk he wanted? He wanted to like revive the museum and add like a bunch of different unique bosses, which like too much. No, I think ZJ's perk is going to be really good. I don't know if the admins are going to fall through with it fully. That's my worry. I don't know if they're going to fall through with it fully. Because you could argue the fact that they don't want more people doing the fiesta for higher inflation, and then it also drives the player count up at times that players wouldn't be playing. They have to make it soulbound. They have to make it soulbound. You could easily co-op abuse it too. That's another big thing. Um, Not even co-op, just straight soulbound. That doesn't matter. Like, assuming they were to give out 5, like, I have an alt in my co-op. I could give my alt all my gear, and then I'm just doing another 5 fiestas. So they're gonna have to do something with that. It's gonna solve all the ping issues during the fiesta. Yeah, I mean, no, for sure. Like, the fiesta is horrible for the servers. I'm not gonna deny that. there's so many like that's I think his perk is definitely something that needs to happen, but how do you make it non-abusable? That's the issue. That's kind of like why I can't like I've read through, I've caught up on every single comment on like the capybara videos, and the issue is that people simply want either just the most on the pet, or it's just like I that's quite frankly it. It's just like people want the most on the pet. For stream here, I wish I was here more, but I don't stream that often. I don't stream that often. That's the issue. Will the capybara will the capybara be goated? I would like to think so. I think there's gonna have to be some like last second changes because even at the current state of it, I think it might not be able to be added in. Um, but obviously, like I think I think it's gonna be fine. I think people are pushing too hard on stuff that like realistically won't get added. I think my thing is like goofy enough because like I think the goal would to be adding a more goofy pet than useful, but not a useless pet like like this. You start a fiesta in a 4 lapis Jasper, nonsense. Well, one part, how many people would do that, and the second part is that like it's not the biggest end of the world. I don't know. I think it because I mean that brings me back to my point of do the admins want people to actually be able to abuse fiestas? Because what if their whole thing is just like, okay, we want it to be limited so that not everyone can abuse this 2 times drops thing? What do you think? I don't know your perk, Rexu. I don't know it. 30's perk was meh. I think the word on the street is that he wanted more for his pet, and the admins rushed it, so it wasn't that good. So, part 30, part admins of what you want to say about that. At the end of the day, this it's not a good pet. I mean, there's so many flaws with it. Like, before we even talk about the perks, it's capped at common. You could tier boost it if you want more Skyblock XP. None of this fortune or secret just I don't know. I don't know. I mean, they can make it go away after coal, but you just choose one during coal. Even then, that's still abusable to some part. Like, yeah, that would nerf the people in 8-player co-ops. Or like, for example, I guess the way to look at it is Dick9. Obviously, he would never do a Fiesta. He's literally no point for it. But he has an 8-player co-op of just himself. That's who that would affect. If you just went ahead and capped it at only during coal. But for someone like me, if I were to abuse both my alt accounts, or not both my alt accounts, if me and my alt account, that's super doable. 10 fiestas, 22 hours during a coal, that's like, for a Skyblock player, not that much time. Hub is this? I think Hub 1. Chilling in Hub 1, might as well. You mind if I ask a question about mining? Go for it. I'm not like... I should be able to answer, unless it's some, like, crazy unique question. Pet is so random. Yeah, that's kind of the issue. Like, a lot of people are... Like, I read through literally every comment. A lot of people are saying about my pet, it's like, oh, it's too, like, random. Like, I think there's... You have to realize that you cannot make a useful perk. Or a useful, like... That's not... Okay, I'm wording this wrong, because you could make a useful pet, and I think my pet is arguably pretty useful. I just think that you can't, if you're aiming at like how 30 did, where you're trying to make a pet where it hits every single skill, that's the issue. Because this is not good news. This is not good news. That's why my pet is more of a quote unquote gimmick where you're not actually using it to progress. You're using it for, it has cosmetic stat buffs. It has hunting fortune, which might not even be added. Who knows if the admins will put that in. You have a thing that helps Ironman players. You have a goofy perk on it. Quite literally has no use other than just be funny. And then, or that's not true. But it's not like helps with progression or anything. And then the third one, The bestiary thing, a lot of people were like not happy about for some reason, but I don't fully get it. And then the dye thing I think will stay. How much powder should I get when gemstone mining and how much of mithril? Um, Powder's super easy. I would recommend if you're doing powder, just go all in at once and max out the Skyblock XP for it. But the best way I could say, because I don't know it on the top of my head, I don't mine often, literally just go through the tree and add up every single powder amount. I think this is like Sky Henny that tells you, but just like look through and see what perks you actually need. Like, do you need mole? If not, you don't need it. You don't need the powder for that. Do you need professional? If yes, then you get the powder for it. That's the best offer. That's the best advice I could give on that. Custom perk. The custom perk, we have a video on it, but to put it short, it is the Capybara pet. It is a legendary pet that will pretty much, the TLDR of it is it'll help Ironman players, specifically the early game. There is, I don't even know if I talked about this in my video in depth, but I want to add jolly prizes into the game. And then on top of that, there's also a perk that, as of current, buffs bestiary and die grinding. You do profile reviews? I do profile review shorts. If you comment on any of the shorts, I just randomly choose through them. Like, there's no one has a better chance. Like, obviously, I will prioritize donators because I feel like a dick if I don't do them. But at the same time, I also purposely go out of my way and don't only do donators. I think my most recent one wasn't a donation. Would you consider making a Magic Find guide after the reworks to Dayax? Um, Quite frankly, just look on the wiki and just look at every single Magic Find source. It is very funny. I was doing dragons last night, and if you guys are unaware, the data displayed is like useless. Not useless, but like it used to be the best thing because it would double all your pet stats, but now it only doubles your combat stats. The best thing in the game for Magic Find is this Death Ripper dagger. You need Kim 5 on a Death Ripper dagger to copy your G-Drag stats, and then the Cold Fused enchant you can only put on a Death Ripper dagger, and it gives +2 Magic Find. Take 4 to Jolly Prize. Hell yeah, Yappy. I think it's gonna be a fun perk. I think it's not like the most crazy perk, and it physically can't be. And I think it's just a. I think it's a fun perk. You went to my lobby for a dragon left. Yeah, if you're doing dragons, the best thing you do is just warp into a lobby, kill the dragon, insta leave. You barely even look at the loot. I feel bad. So many people were calling me out in dragon lobbies last night for lagging their lobby. Because if you aren't aware, if you spawn a dragon, you lag the lobby so much. Oh my god. Where the majority of your Skyblock coins from? Literally just like everything. I do a bit of everything. Like realistically, probably the most from Diana, a lot from Kudra, a lot from dungeons, and then like also just like smart quote unquote investments, and just overall playing every part of the game. For example, I've been trying to sell compost for like literally the past week due to this update coming out tomorrow. I imagine that has to be greenhouse tomorrow, without a doubt. You're doing maintenance for it. Wait, are the minister pets going to be unobtainable on Iron Man? No. The way that we want to make our pet work is through pet score. So it'd be okay, flat out anything. Anyone's perk will be obtainable outside the event. They're not going to make a perk that is unobtainable otherwise. But the way that we want our pet to work is through pet score. It's going to make us sit through maintenance for nothing. It's so weird they're doing it on a Monday. The thought went through my head of they might just make the maintenance the day before and then Tuesday they're going to release the update like they normally do, but I don't know. 6 billion bits. Dude, I used to have a thing where I wanted only 5 million bits at a time and then I would sell all my other bits, but selling bits might be the most boring thing in the world. 'Cause I'm trying to level up my fame rank. That's the main thing. It's just not fun. ZJ, if you're willing to say, have you talked to the admins much about your perk? I don't know what that's been looking like for anyone like doing perks now. Like, are they just fully egoing? Because we said it earlier on stream. Like, I think there might be a lot of issues with your perk in the way that people can abuse it. They completely egoed me. I imagine they DM'd you for your like mayor perk, yeah. So I mean, there is that, but yeah, I don't know why. I wonder if that's just like they're only responding to YouTubers or they're just fully egoing everyone. Yeah, just a regular one. I don't know, that's weird. It'd be weird to ego because it's like I wonder if they're just not well, clearly they're not adding anything, but I wonder if they're just flat out not working on any perks until the like it's fully over. Which just means they're going to be delayed for even longer. Is the best way to get powder just by mining in dwarven mines and doing events? Yeah. If I were to fully recommend what you should do for powder, you just for dwarven mine events or dwarven mines, you literally just do events, and then in the meanwhile, you do glaciite powder with commissions, or you treasure mine for gemstone powder. Might make it so you need a heart of the mountain wreck to use the tickets. That wouldn't even solve it. I don't know what the. I think the main thing you would I don't know. You definitely would not be able to get all 5 tickets. I don't know if that's something you talked about before. I think all 5 tickets might just be doing too much. Because even then, my alt is Heart of the Mountain 10, and then in that case, I just get 10 Fiesta tickets. And it's just like, somebody said they should definitely expire after Cole. I don't know if that's something you've considered. I think that is, it helps a little with the situation of boosting with them. Not like the full fix for it, but add 1 ticket per 2 Heart of the Mountain levels. They do expire? Okay, that's good. That is good news. After 24 hours? Okay. Okay, I see the vision. Yeah, I guess so. In that case, it wouldn't be as abusable as I thought, but still, they might need to add something for that. Why do you have to be minister again? I was never minister, bruh. I was minister like number 5, but if we're gonna be quite frank, listen, I appreciate every vote that got me to the place I was. I'm not gonna go ahead and say I wasn't grateful or anything. I think adding the carnival was one of the best thing I've ever done in Skyblock. I mean, giving everyone another 50 XP. That was pretty cool. But the people in the bottom 4, sadly, this is just like a trap. Because if you get voted in the bottom 4, you cannot run again in the next election. And you could choose like a perk, whatever, but you don't get to choose a custom perk. And quite frankly, that is why everyone in the mayor election is running. They should make it top 3. Yeah, no, I was told that the top 3 are the only people that won't be allowed to run again. The way it was worded to me is that if you're in the bottom 4, you could just easily vote again. I don't know. Carnival is huge. It was very funny because it did kind of fuck you over if you were doing Diana a little. It's not here anymore. I can't even show, but it was so bad. Well, okay, it wasn't so bad, but like every 30 minutes, it was interrupting your way of life some way or another. Oh, we passed rules. Oh, we passed rules. Thank you to everyone who's voting Candypat. I appreciate it. I appreciate every single vote, literally more than you'll ever know. More than you will ever know. I wish I entered Finn. I don't even think that's like, obviously I can't prove if that's like a genuine thing of why they didn't get voted high. But if we're gonna be full honest, like I watched their video, I don't really like I don't like her perk because obviously she gave like another perk example, but killing mobs and getting booster cookies, that literally impacts the server's how much the server makes. It impacts how much the server makes because they're getting less people to buy cookies. I have no idea what Jade's perk is. I have no idea. For my knowledge, her perk Duralius is doing the mix-in, so I have no idea what she's doing. Yeah. Ben, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a part of that community. I've not seen like I would people have said like the Skyblock community is very bad, and I kind of like I feel bad because obviously I'm not gonna deny that there are some like people that say some pretty awful shit in the community, but I haven't like experienced much of it. Perk is to skip the dungeon blood dialogue. I don't know if that's gonna be added. That's not. I don't think that's gonna be added. You have to realize that this is. It was the same thing that Flame of War was running on, like pretty much. Okay, not exactly, but you can't add something like that because if you add that into the game, everyone needs that talisman. Like obviously you could make the caveat of, oh, if one person in the run doesn't have the talisman, it won't work. But that's just like I feel like that's the reason it won't be added. Um Flame of War's idea was that there is a talisman that is similar to this talisman over here. Let me find it. The General's Medallion, where instead of secrets, it's blood mob kills, and for every one digit in your blood mob kills, it decreases the amount of blood mobs that spawn by one. So I think there's like 15 mobs that spawn, meaning that you would be able to remove 6 of them. But that wouldn't work because you're basing it off of either the highest person in the party, which would be very weird, and then you could also be basing it off of the fact that everyone's gonna have different blood mobs. So that's just a huge mess in itself. It's good, Aiken. It's not a talisman, it's a perk in general. Um Even I don't know if they would add that. I think that would break the game. I don't want to hate on it, but I don't think they would add that. Again, I can't speak for the admins. I don't think they would add that. You know how much of dungeons is dialogue? If we include blood, we include the beginning. Oh, there's so much dialogue. No, that literally won't be added. You are skipping out on like a minute and a half of the run. If we're counting blood dialogue, we're counting all the things in M7, which yeah, I mean that's just a lot. Like that's all it is, but it's a lot. So shout out this guy. How's it go? Hello? Could just do whoever opens the door. Again, that's like another weird caveat you have to make for a system like that. Again, I don't want to like make this sound like I'm a negative Nancy and shit talking everyone's idea, but we have to be realistic to some point. We have to be realistic to some point of what people, not even what people want, because people want a lot in the game, but you have to be realistic of what they can add into the game. What's your perk? As you can see in the top right, it's the Capybara pet. Pretty much, it's not gonna be a game-changing pet because it physically cannot be. But the ideas of it so far are that it would add a few limited time items into the game that you can't normally get, like glossy minerals, stuff like that. But at a rare chance. It would have a goofy perk of my own that would introduce jolly prizes into the game. And then the third perk is probably on the chopping block. It probably will have to be reworked. I haven't seen anything to really replace it. So it might go through, but if the admins don't like it, I'm gonna have to change it obviously. But it's to increase the bestiary and have a chance to double a die with the pet out. If you get a Vang, do you want to gamble? Sure. Why not? Using 1.21 mod pack, any idea why Fulbright isn't working? If you go to keybinds, Yeah, gamma utils here. Just make sure that you have increased gamma on something, and then or like set max gamma, and then you could go ahead and change it. Yeah, if you're in the top 3, you get a custom perk. Anyone below, you get to choose a mayor perk. So this hub is closing. Kind of sad. Hub 2 it is. Yeah, I have party invites enabled. Voting for Daphne. Listen, uh, let's not. I think we're over this whole voting for literal alt accounts. I'm so glad we're over that phase. That might have been the worst. That oh my god, that was so bad. Realistic dialogue is downtime, so we should remove it, right? I don't think so. Like, yeah, removing dialogue would be cool, but I think that would break dungeons. I don't think that's something the admins would want into the game. It's a big like I remember there was something that people were talking about. Obviously, it's not like fully related, but obviously you start a profile or you go to a new island, you're always gonna see the newest like dialogue to any NPC if it's your first time talking to them. And people were talking about how they should add a thing in your settings where you disable old dialogue, but it's kind of the point of you're not only neglecting the admin's time because so many people would disable that you're the admins who went ahead and put that dialogue into the game for literally no reason, and then I mean, there's like no negatives to sitting through actual dialogue. Now, dungeon dialogue's a little different, obviously, but surprised Dragoon didn't get Minister. What do you mean, bruh? Hello? Unless you're talking about Dragoon without the 2. They should make Kudra drop good drops. I mean, that Fusion's perk, I think, still holds the crown of the best perk. I think his perk not only added a new Kudra drop that is like worth like what 7 million coins now, 7.5 million coins. Um, but he also made Kudra way faster. Like you literally can't hate on that guy's perk. What's Dragoon's perk? It is to add a brand new hunt into the game. His current perks are kind of insane though. Pathfinder gain rare drops 20% more often. This is for Slayers only, which is kind of horribly worded. Super Cookie, Booster Cookies yield an extra 20% bits and 5% skill XP. An extra more skill XP, that's cool. The Booster Cookie thing is horribly worded. And then, Apocalypse. I don't know why he added that, but for a heart to the guy who voted for me. Anyone who votes for me, I really do appreciate every vote. It means a lot more than you will ever know, genuinely. ZJ's perk is gonna be good. Yeah, no, I've been saying it. I even ZJ messaged me like when we first VC'd on stream like a week and a half ago, and I didn't realize that. And I DM'd him yesterday. I'm like, oh, no, his perk is definitely up there. I think the reason why it like doesn't outweigh Future's perk in my opinion is because it can be abused. Obviously, they will change it in some way or another, but to where that's not the case. Thank you, Truxy. I appreciate it. Zach, the issue with the okay, realistically, if we're removing dialogue from dungeons, there is like first of all, where do we draw the line on that, right? Are we counting Storm as dialogue? When he's running around making a 360 on the map, he's talking the whole time. So we're technically removing that just to watch your dialogue. I got told dungeon dialogue. If we're talking blood dialogue, the issue well, first of all, the blood dialogue wasn't what Jade was voting for. Um to my knowledge, her thing is on old dungeon dialogue. And blood dialogue was Flame of War's perk, which his way of implementing it was not good. Granted, I even talked to like a few dungeon people. Why did I go to a private lobby? And even then, with his perk idea how it was, people didn't want it into the game. This all boss dialogue. All boss dialogue would like genuinely break dungeons. We would, if we're talking old dialogue, we're removing Storm's whole phase pretty much. We are right as you spawn into Maxor, you don't. He's instantly aggroed onto you. Um. Also, not to mention, if this is a perk, okay, no, okay, well, I didn't even think about this. If it's a perk, no, that it cannot be a perk. It cannot be a perk because it has to be an item. Otherwise, if it's a perk, there will be people that will instantly get it. Let's say it was like a common talisman. People would instantly get it, and their first time playing floor 7, Maxer is going to be up their ass, killing them immediately. And then they're also never going to see the dialogue, which is the admin's intent of adding it in the first place. Jade's perk would be good for bingo. I've said that before. I said my opinion on it is that if you have been through dialogue, an NPC dialogue on another profile, and then you swap to bingo, for example, you shouldn't see the NPC dialogue for that. That's the most I will say about removing dialogue. Checked out Dafty. I've seen people in lobbies say that his proposal is to make it gemstones lower. I think I know how he's gonna make gemstone prices lower. Like, are we fucking for real? So I don't know. Some NPCs be yapping. No, I agree. There are NPCs that are yapping a lot, but at the same time, either I mean, yeah, I it just that I don't think they'll add that into the game. You have to think about it. Yeah, not. I mean, even it's like ignoring M7. That's a good point. It's a good point, Pirate. Bonzo literally, you're ruining Bonzo's fight because right as he spawns in, right as you enter the boss room, you're instantly fighting him, and then he instantly respawns. Scarf, you have no. We need to think about this for a second, because oh my god, we need to think about this for a second. Where do we draw the line on what dialogue it gets rid of? Because you are ruining. You walk in to Professor and you're immediately being shot by the Guardians. You walk into Thorn and he's already spinning. Mobs are already spawning. Livid, yeah, Livid. The clothes are already there. What if it was 2 times speed dialogue instead? I mean, maybe, but then you also have to like back to the. I mean that's like definitely not as bad, but at the same time that would, as a permanent perk, I don't know about that. My general thing on a perk like that is if we're making counters to that, like, oh, maybe make it 2 times speed. Maybe we should. I think that perk shouldn't be touched. I don't think there's many people really complaining about dungeon dialogue. Dialogue is well, I don't know if it would be affecting Kudra too. I think that's another good point. Why would it only affect dungeons? I don't know. Again, with these, again, like, listen, I'm not shit talking the person. Let's make that very clear. I'm not shit talking. If I'm shit talking a perk, I mean no harm or no hard feelings to the person who made the perk. But I think that some of these perks are just so unrealistic. I don't know. If we're mentioning Kudra, you spawn in immediately after everyone readies up, and you're already on supplies, which would mess you. That would mess you up in so many regards. Um, there's way more interesting things they could do to update blood rather than remove dialogue. That's another thing that you could fully just update the game rather than removing dialogue. Granted, I've been a big supporter of we shouldn't update dungeons at all. I think dungeons should be set to rot and then we move on to something else. Dungeons are in a fine enough place, game wise, like gameplay wise, that it should not change. Um, I honestly just hate dungeons. I mean, I don't know about like Dungeons are fine. Like, obviously, I can't say that you don't hate dungeons. Obviously, people hate every part of the game some way or another, but I don't think the way to make somebody like dungeons is removing more dialogue. No, I mean, Tilted Honey has a good point. They quite literally just need to update the game, if anything. If anything. I hate needing to rely on others to progress. Yeah, I mean that was like a big thing that people were complaining about is like solo dungeons, and solo dungeons should be better than what's it called? Like they should make it like 5x the amount of XP or some bullshit, but I don't know, it's something you just need to stick through. Cata 50 nowadays, especially if you're not Cata 50, 80% skill XP bonus right now. Please, 85% more skill XP bonus. Come on. We gotta lock in. Yo, make. I hope I'm saying that. Make 1368. Thank you for becoming a member. Appreciate it. Somebody added a talisman that gave you 1.5x for RNG meter. No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I think RNG meter as itself, I mean 2x. If you're not abusing the 2x right now, I don't know what you're doing because it's so broken. Um, but no, we don't need more than that. I mean, what? Just to put this at it, put it into perspective. What's the one? I'm trying to look for the attribute shard that does that too. Isn't it a legendary? I hope it's a legendary. Otherwise, I'm wasting time. Where the hell is this, bro? There's one of these that buff RNG meter by like 10% or something. Point being, 10% on the RNG meter. Why would they ever add something 50? You know? You have social 25? I do. By a good margin, too. Damon, that's the, yeah. Oh, Bizarre is too laggy. So I can search it up here. Yeah. RNG meter fills by 10% faster. You cannot expect them to add something that increases it by 50% if when they're adding something to increase the RNG meter, it's by 10%. Maybe by 5% and that's it. But then what? Like, are we just gonna add a perk that's only 5% more RNG meter fill? That's like, I don't know. I think that's, if anything, a waste of a perk. Because that's too simple of a perk that you might not even notice. To put that in perspective, 5% faster, that's... Okay, maybe that... Okay, that's like, what, 50 nucleus runs off of a Devon's alloy? How long do you think prices will take to recover from what they're at now? Oh, dear God. I don't know, man. It's too long. This is... I think we'll make a video on this in the long term. I don't know how soon, but, like, this has definitely impacted Skyblock in, I mean, up to you to decide, a negative or a very positive way. Very insane. Um, I mean, come on, like, every RNG meter is increased by double. Skill XP is nearly at 100% increase right now. We're getting so many insane perks from all these ministers that will change the game, like these custom perks. The current mayor perks are insane. For example, if you're not playing Skyblock right now, in a world that you are getting, oh, I have to find the mayors. When you're getting 10% more combat and magic find stats, you're getting the mythological ritual, you're getting, 10 tracking, you're getting perk apocalypse. If you're not playing Skyblock right now, and you have the time for it at least, come on. You gotta be doing something. Something. Even if it's like, even if it's just leveling up skills. Do we know when R is gonna leave office? Mayor election booth opens number 5 on the 19th. It'll end on the 22nd. So we're guaranteed up until like the 27th or something. So I would, to be safe, honestly, I'm gonna guarantee that R is gonna be in office for the rest of December. How about the ability to use enchanted items in Basket of Seeds and Wart Sack? That's such like a one-time issue that doesn't need to be a whole mayor perk. Does powder grinding count? Powder grinding doesn't be it wasn't affected by anything. Yeah, during this. So granted, do whatever you want in the game. Do something that is buffed by either skill XP or stat wise. And the Jerry perk does not buff like extra gemstone powder. Ours is way too long. Christmas coming up. A lot of people can play. No, that's a big thing that people have been talking about. Is like, yeah, they're probably just holding it over for Christmas break because like, um, I guess I can log out. Doesn't matter. 46,000 people on. Keep in mind, if it was it is the weekend, obviously, but 46K people on. Before this, we would probably only be at like 30 something K. So like just roughly a 10K player increase for a mayor. And I wouldn't even say that a lot of these are alt accounts. Do we get more XP on Heart of the Mountain? No. To my knowledge, you do not. Add a storage overlay to your mod pack? Hell no, bro. Hell no. Yeah, I'm like, listen, you could go ahead and add that. I don't know. First of all, I don't know what mod has that. No, Skyany definitely has that. But I mean that is the thing. If you're downloading somebody else's config, you're downloading my config in how I have it set up. And personally, I like it to where it's normal, quite frankly. Johnny has it? Yeah, I thought so. I know any of you had it before. Do you think farming is worth if you're below level 60? I think you shouldn't touch farming until tomorrow, because that's more than likely when the greenhouse is going to come out. Should I swap to the newest version? Yes. I tried playing on 1.8 yesterday because there's like an issue I had with 1.21. But not only was the same issue on 1.8, 1.8 genuinely felt like so outdated now playing on 1.21. I don't know what it was, but it just felt so outdated. I've invested in compost for the update. I can't check. I've sold so much compost during this time. I don't know if compost is gonna go up anymore. Compost peaked at like 4 mil insta sell. Just kind of insane. It probably will go up a little because like no way everyone bought compost already, right? 1.8 stranded is bad. Is that like a thing you have to do? Do you have to play stranded on 1.8? Feels like dead because it's 8 years old. Okay, no, I get that. No, because obviously I sound stupid saying that, but I more mean in the sense that like obviously it's an old version, but a year ago playing on 1.8, you didn't realize that because no one played on 1.21. So you're not realizing how out of date it is. Not to mention the frame rate jump and the more consistent frames you get on 1.21. I have a pretty good PC, yet I was lagging so bad on 1.8. Practically impossible to play Shrine on 1.8. Is that literally just GUIs lag too much? What? How does that work? Only GUIs lag? What is in your mod pack that makes magmas look hollow? That might be the texture pack. I'm pretty sure that is the texture pack. 1.8 was only better because mods weren't available on a new version. The new version was pretty buggy. I don't think anyone can deny that. It's statistically was way more buggier than 1.8 because 1.8 obviously has been out for 10 years. But now that the admins have put some type of care into this version onto Hypixel, it's a lot better. Everything, terminals, Kudra. Yeah, I think everything just is smoother. A big thing, if you're playing Diana, please swap to 1.21. Not only does your FPS not die in the hub anymore, or not as much, but teleporting is so much more smoother. Which crop is better in the greenhouse update? Literally could not tell you. Well, I don't know what you're talking about. Money-wise, it's not on the main server. Money-wise, if we're talking to NPC, it's probably the exact same. Use-wise, I have no idea. Probably Moonflower? Because it's like rarer than Sunflower, maybe? I don't know, I'm making that up. No, like uses. I think Moonflower because you have the Crow Pet. That's really it. I can't really think of anything else. The chips to coins is really good. Yeah, I saw something about that where you could, if you're specifically Iron Man, because I think normal profile is useless in this regards, but you can turn copper into coins, which is really good. Yeah, I don't know if there's a single Iron Man who's complaining that they have too much copper. So almost every item lag back, so many ghost blocks, you can't do multiple item movements, your memory cache fills so much faster on Stranded than 1.8. That's fucking hilarious. Is there have you swapped to 1.21 or are you still on 1.8? Did Trinity as a visitor? Yeah. They had so many new things as visitor. I think there's like 40 new visitors or something. 3 double chests of sunflowers already. I mean I don't mean to be the bearing of bad news, but that I could log on to alpha and get 30 double chests of sunflowers in 5 minutes. I respect the motive of getting them, but I think at some point we gotta won't do that much. What's the command to import waypoints on Skyblocker? I think I think you could do slash Skyblocker waypoints now. Yeah, Skyblocker waypoints, import slash export. And then choose down here. Trinity is the hardest NPC to find. No, for sure. Trinity is a very hard NPC to find, but if you're doing Kata, you'll eventually find her. Especially, you need to be doing, if you're specifically hunting for her, you need to be doing F7 or M7. You could bone meal sunflower right now and get a full inventory in seconds. Yeah, that too. 33k mithril powder. Wait till you do a mithril gore mound. As far as I'm aware, a mithril gore mound still gives you like 300k mithril powder, some bullshit. If I'm not wrong. Also, can we? I think we need to talk about this. I need to go back. Can I? This teleport pad is still not fixed, man. It's been 4 weeks, 3 weeks. You guys might be aware there's a new fire sale of biohazard helmet skins. You know, admins have been notorious for releasing fire sales that have nothing relating to like their most recent update. Like we got no forging pets. We got basically forging update, no forging pets as an example. And as their most recent fire sale, they introduced biohazard helmet skins. Cool, we have a farming update coming. Biohazard skins are probably cool. No, because they literally nerfed biohazard to be worse than fermento. For the best way to crop grind, or not crop grind, to pest grind, you want to make a second set of fermento and enchant it with like Ola pest or pest stuff. And that's it. So biohazard is fully useless. You get like 500k from Mithril Gourmand. That's what I thought. Yeah, some like insane amount. Granted, you need to have to make sure no one in your lobby fucks you over, but what are people doing right now? Playing the game, bro. So many people in this election booth, but like people gotta start playing the game more. If I wasn't Max, bro, oh my god, like genuinely dream gameplay. Currently, there's 85% skill XP bonus, double the RNG meter. I mean, come on. Perk Apocalypse, we have the Jerry perk that people have to wait normally, like what? 120 days for normally? IRL days for this perk to normally come around? I mean, Toad's perk, really good if you're Iron Man and need copper. Flames perk, go do more dungeons. Fraglet's perk, tracking. Enter's perk, oh yeah, that's Perkopolis. Oh my god, English. Sharing is caring. We have Stat Apocalypse, Diana Ritual. If you are not max Diana, please do Diana. You make so much money. I don't know why, but Diana stuff doesn't go down. If I go, now that's easy Diana. Chem books are still 40 mil, by the way. If you are not doing Diana, please go do Diana. And then Dragoon has Pelpocalypse. Not sure why he added this. I don't know if somebody told him to add this, because I don't think he obviously knows that much about the game anymore. This is like a fully useless perk to my knowledge. I don't think this has a single use. Other than people who don't have the items already. Pathfinder, which is more Aatrox, not is the Aatrox perk for more Magic Final Slayers, and then the Super Cookie thing. What's the command to open Skyblocker? Such Skyblocker. Any mod, if you're trying to open it, is probably just slash and then whatever it is. Slash Skyblocker, slash Sky Handy, slash Sky Ocean. If anything, you go to escape mods and then you go ahead and find the mod there. Iron Man, I guess. Helps make 30 mil an hour, so it's a really good early game. 30 mil an hour is not much anymore. You could do a lot in the game for 30 mil an hour. Not to mention, it's also like really bad early game because it's a really good late game because you have an AOTV, you have infinite mana, you have a hype, you have all these different weapons to kill it from a range. You don't have that early game. Oh, I guess you do for the stinky cheese potion. I guess that's fair. It's not the worst perk to have. It's not the worst. So we got to know Vang. Vangs aren't common. Dragoon's perks are all kind of useless. I don't know what it was, because to my knowledge, it was just these two perks that he had, and then this one appeared. Which is also weird. The Super Cookie perk, I don't know what this is. Like, I don't know. I guess just an extra 5% seal XP bonus. 700 mil every 5 days from Rift by 3-hour grind daily. The hell did you do in the Rift, bro? I guess at 15 hours? I don't know. Probably adds up. I hope we don't get a Diana this event. I haven't done Diana in so long because it's so. I don't know what it is with the mayor candidates of, oh, I can choose a mayor perk. I'm choosing Diana. No, I think the funniest thing to me is I think 30 chose it the first election. I don't think I could check. I don't think he did Diana the first election. This guy added Diana and didn't do any Diana. I can't check bestiary on here. It actually sucks, but like Diana costs like 2.5 bill to do. 2.5 bill, man, nowadays is not that much of a issue to get. Especially if you were playing since the beginning of Armare, you easily had 2.5 bill by now. Make so much money doing anything in the game. Mining Goat, how do I add waypoints? I have no idea. If you have the waypoints, I think I showed this to you already. That's Skyblocker waypoints, import, and then you import whichever one it says it is. Off of what I just recently started. If you just recently started, if you're brand new, go into the Rift. You make so much money in the Rift. It's a kind of a long-term thing, because I think the best thing, if you're talking money-wise, is you go for a Rift Prism, which is like 1 billion coins in the auction house. On top of that, literally anything in the game right now, if you just progress in the game, you will make money. You don't need to go ahead and do the most. You just need to go ahead and play the game. What do you think about MP power creep nowadays? I have no idea. I've never seen it as an issue. We are getting a lot of accessories from this, but also we don't get accessories often. I think we're due for a damage nerf eventually, which will solve any bad things that this event will do. Also, might I add to anyone who's like even I've seen a lot of comments about this. Please, like, I'm still taking open suggestions for my pet if anyone has any. But people gotta realize that we have to cap some stuff out at some point. Like the amount, like I think multiple people commented on my video. They're like, okay, I want one of the pet perks to be that increases your magical power by 15 or 1.15x. Like, do you realize how fucking broken that would be? Permanently? Is it perk apocalypse? Yeah. I don't know what it is. I could try to find out, but actually, literally, no, I don't know if I can find out. Is there anything to tell? No, it's not. I don't think it's. Is it Marina? It might be Marina. Uh, Is it Marina? I have actually no idea. No, I don't think it is. I have no idea. It is Marina right now? Okay, I'm stupid. GG. Wait, what? Where's Wisdom? Is it Marina? I don't see the Wisdom perk. What? Or does she not have a Wisdom perk? No, she. I checked both Secret Creature Chance and Wisdom. Weird. I don't know. People don't realize that the littlest magical power is a big difference endgame. Even then, like 0.15x, that is what? That would be 300 magical power, roughly, a little less in my case. And this is like the max magical power, so an extra 300 magical power. When a normal talisman, even a mythic, gives like 24 or 16. Dark Shadow, the issue with profile reviews is that there's such a long line. I will get to, especially if you are a donor, I have every single donor's name down. There's just not enough time to get all these out. That's the issue. I will get through every single one. You have my word on that. I will not stop doing them until I at least get through all the donators, and even then I will continue doing them. But I think as of right now, there's like 25 people in the queue. So I kind of need to like. I've been trying to. I think, yeah, no, tomorrow there should be one. I don't know which one it is. I actually don't think I have it recorded. But I'm going back to getting them out every other day. I want to point out 100 votes away from the Jimbo. 100 votes. We could be. I think if we push hard enough, I will definitely keep it going. But listen, we could hold top 2. That being said, I think top 7 is inevitable. Even if somehow we don't get top 3, I think top 7 is inevitable. I need to figure out what perk I would want as a mayor perk if we do. Really don't know. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be roughly the same throughout. You know what I mean? I feel like we're always, like, somebody's always going to have perk Apocalypse now. Somebody's going to have Diana, I feel like, every time. I'm surprised this is the first time we saw Stat Apocalypse. Slayer? Slayer is a good shout. He's doing something with Slayers. Do people really, like... I didn't know if that many people did Slayers. If that's, like... That is a very pop... I guess, like... I mean, that might be just a stupid thing for me to assume that no one does Slayers. But the 25% skill XP bonus from Jade was really good last time. I will say that. When is this election end? It's just open, so it ends in 3 days. I can't see. It's like 3 days flat, I think. 3 days and 1 hour. See the time, that is an EST. Their buffs help me get from E-Man 2 to E-Man 4. That's pretty cool. I mean, yeah, like, I think it's just, like, I don't think any of the skill XP bonuses increase Slayer XP right now, but it's in every bit of Slayer, especially if you're an Iron Man, if you're early game, does really matter. For, like, Blaze and E-Man, especially. There's a 5th election? Yep. Guaranteed 5th election, meaning that anyone from... I can go back. You guys will be able to vote any of these people in next election, too. I don't know when they plan on ending these. I really think I think these 3rd election should have been the last one. I don't think they should have done more than 3. What is Jerry? Apparently it's Mithril. Apparently it's Marina right now. I don't believe that. Is doing the garden good for a level 285? Yeah. I wouldn't do garden realistically unless you don't have that much done. If you have a fermento set and you have all the farming tools, you shouldn't do more than that. But like if I'm not wrong, the maintenance tomorrow is for greenhouse, so it's like you shouldn't really touch the garden much other than that. Tracking skills on job is correct. Any mob, if you want to check, you go into bestiary and then you just hover over, and if it has elusive, tracking works on it. Times the maintenance at 8 a.m. EST and it runs until 2 p.m. EST. Also, not to mention, quick fucking me being pissed off. Dragon. Why is Superior Dragon not an elusive mob? Like, why? Why in the hell is this not an elusive mob? So bad. Is Greenhouse like making more farms or is it different? It's pretty much what it does is it takes up 3 of your plots and increases a lot of your. It just like it gives you more crops for being AFK is the best way to word it. It's not like there's mutations. I don't even know that much about it. I haven't looked too much into it. I'm not a big farming main or anything, but like I don't know. 3 plots, yeah. You could have up to 3 greenhouses on your garden, and I don't see a world where you wouldn't have 3 greenhouses on your garden. If anyone knows more about the greenhouse, I would love to know more. Like I know there's a whole document on everyone that or every mutation that's been found. I don't know if there's like any OP ones or anything. But to my knowledge, I don't think the greenhouse is best in slot to leveling your garden. Pests with extra steps. Yeah, that's kind of what I've seen it as. I think if you are unaware on how pests work, currently right now, you could fill up your pest traps every 18 minutes. Literally, if you just have all your shards, I think there's shards that buff it, and if you go to your garden with the mosquito equipped, every 18 minutes, your pest traps will fill with 3 pests. How do you, can you check with Mare? I think it's Marina. I don't know how people checked, but because I'm trying to check right now, and I'm not getting any of the Marina buffs to my knowledge. That's the wrong area. Yeah, I'm not getting any. I don't know. People are saying it's Marina, but I don't know what else it could be. I'm gonna assume Marina. Yeah, the only ones you could really tell is Cole and Marina, just through the tab. You have double hook chance. I don't even know where the hell is double hook chance, bro. Then miscellaneous. Wow, that's English. Where the hell is double hook chance, man? Oh, I guess I have 0. That's why. I guess I literally have 0. That would explain a lot. Yeah, they should add a way to track it. Like, I forget who. I think it was Derelius who had it the first time. He was very active about it. He was like, "Why the hell are we not allowed to see this?" And still can't see it. How do you have your soul flow visible? What do you mean by that? I don't have soul flow anywhere on my screen. Tab, no. I have my talisman somewhere. Don't know where it is. There it is. Oh, what the hell? Where? Oh, there it is. 200k. Good luck, Nosh. Good luck on your assignment. Phantom Wiki says it's Diana. Is it Diana? Uh, there's literally. Is there any way for me to see if it's Diana? Because tracking's in, the XP share buff is in. No, there's literally no way for me to see if it is or isn't Diana. That's funny. Not a single rev done so far. I've been lazy, bro. I guess I could set up, but like, it's so fucking funny that I have this weapon. There's Aatrox during Fiesta the other day. The last election, I don't know what you mean by the other day, but the last election did have somebody who chose like Cole's mining fiesta perk, meaning that there were 8 mining fiestas in the 3 or whatever days. Yo, there's a king in this lobby. Hold up. Where's that? Go, go, go. Let's go. Oh, wait, I don't have a griffin out. Yikes. Hit this thing. Ooh, that guy died. Oh, whoever spawned this is gonna die. It's at 100% rage. Oh, I have no volume on. Kind of realize that. I'm not gonna help kill this, respectfully. I hit it. That's it. This is out of my ballpark. Oh my god. He's not even gonna get the last hit either. If I get a wool, I swear to God. No. You get Lucha though. That's cool. Only way to tell is the pet XP buff. Yeah. No, and there's no way. There's like stat for that. There's no stat for that, so you can't even see. Can't even see. I don't know, man. This has been a whole scuffed update, but it's also been some of the best Skyblock ever. So I'm not like necessarily fully against it even. Bang. What about the 2 extra XP share slots? ZJ has that as his minister perk, so doesn't even matter. The Diana Mare is like pretty much useless. Oh, did I go to my island? No. Since Beyblade has been nerfed, what weapon should I put Chimera on? If we're being realistic, if you want the best or the most magic find in the game, you get a Death Ripper Dagger with Chimera 5 and Cold Fused on it. Cold Fuse gives a base of 2 magic finds, so best magic find in the game, technically a Cold Fuse Death Ripper Dagger. So should I ignore the greenhouse update? No, you should definitely do the greenhouse update. I said before, you should just not do the garden until the greenhouse update. Unless you aren't like already, if you have nothing going in your garden, you should start right now. But if you're someone like me who has every farm bill, if you have pretty much everything maxed on the garden or close to it, if you have all the armor sets, no reason to do that. Are you in the hub one? Hell yeah. Alright, I'm doing revs in hub one. Decided. See how bad this is gonna go. Dude, revs are so bad. The money drain from these, oh my god, dude. Oh, something's not right. I'm doing no damage. Maxwell. Ooh, this lobby is laggy as shit. Gotta get Fermento in 10 hours. Like, Fermento in 10 hours, you got that, bro. How much is Fermento even? Like, will this show me? 40 mil a piece? Whole set's like 120 mil. That's not that bad. And then you don't need to worry about a biohazard set either, because biohazard is just useless on alpha. Greenhouse drops more than likely tomorrow, because there is maintenance scheduled for 8 a.m. to like 2 p.m. EST. And I don't know why they would do a maintenance and not release the update with it, so. Is even Reforge? Yeah, I guess the Reforge is like half the cost, more than the armor set cost, but. How do I get Beth to spawn in my garden? Just RNG. I guess I forgot about that. Like, if you don't have the Beth, that's probably like the most important thing. If you don't have the whole Beth dialogue done, you just need to fully prioritize your visitors. It's a RNG thing. I don't think it's dropping tomorrow. It's weird it's dropping on a Monday. They don't drop updates on Mondays literally ever. They drop them on Tuesdays. So I don't... Are they doing like an early maintenance and then they're going to drop it the day after? That was kind of my whole theory on it. But I guess they're also not held to only doing Tuesday updates. There's no law saying they can't update on a Monday. Where can I find Beth? Beth originally... Wow, I don't... Is she just on the desert island? Probably. If you haven't talked to her NPC. If not, you should just go ahead and do visitors if you already have it unlocked. Even if you're not doing garden, you just warp to your garden every time your visitors fill up. I've been farming carrots every... You know what chance for Rhino is? Rhino is pretty rare. Rhino is pretty rare. I don't know the odds for him, but I know that originally people would go... Like, they could farm for the whole Finnegan and not get one. I think the first Finnegan I farmed for 3 days and didn't get one. Like, 3 genuinely farming my ass off days. And didn't get any. Why is Beth so important? If you go ahead and do the whole quest line, it pretty much will unlock you. Well, it does unlock you the crop analyzer, is what it will do. If you need to see her 4 total times in your garden. Right now, you could only see her up to 3. Will farming be similar to mining in rates? Probably not. I think the first day you should capitalize on garden for sure. I think if you are the first to get some of the mutations, because the mutations are heavily time locked, if you go ahead and get the mutations early, you're gonna get a lot of money. If you get like a level not even a level 200, if you get the first Rose Dragon, you could sell that for a lot. Let alone the Rose Dragon at level 200 will sell for a lot. So if you get the first of that on the server, you could profit. And these aren't even like you need good like a good setup for. This is just like full time dedication. If like full time dedication RNG if you were to get like the Road Dragon pack. Granted, you need 500 mil to buy the pet and 20k copper, but it's a lot easier than getting something like a golden dragon. I think they're adding 1,000 farming fortune and 100 pest chance. I think that's what you mean by that. Oh yeah, bonus pest chance. So yeah, there's no way they're adding 1,000 farming fortune. That would make. I mean, somebody has to have tested farming rates, right? I feel like pest farming has to be insane. Half of that is dragon. Does dragon give that much? Should I get the max vacuum? Easily, yeah. Max vacuum's 25 mil. There's no reason not to have it. Honestly, I would just recommend that if you don't have a farming setup, you should prioritize farming right now. I didn't know that you get 1,000 fortune. That pest farming, you could. I think I was told that you could spawn up to 7 pests per like spawn now, which is insane. And then with all the extra fortune and shit, oh my god. Tested on making 70 mil an hour with pests plus shards. Jesus Christ. What? That cannot. What the fuck? What the fuck? There's no way they send that through, right? There's no way they send this update through if you're making 70 mil an hour. I guess yeah, that's with shards and that's not fully NPC, but still. Where are you doing revs? I'm doing it for Matcha Dai. Matcha Dai right here. 56% of the way there. It's currently the best time to do it because RNG meter is doubled. And it's also the easiest Slayer die to get. It's still like extreme. It takes a long time, don't get me wrong. And also like an absurd amount for these spawning costs, but it's kind of fun. How are we looking election wise? I haven't checked in a hot minute. What are we looking at? We're 90 votes behind Lejimbo. Listen, I don't hate Lejimbo. I don't hate anyone. But I will say, I think my Capybara pet is superior than his plans to ruin the Dark Auction. Yes, we do have a mods folder video for the current pack I'm using. I probably need to update it. Like, I know some of the mods aren't, like, updated, like Skyhanny or whatever, but that's not, like, the biggest deal in the world. I haven't added any new mods or anything. What's the Jimbo's perk? I'll go ahead and tell you the Jimbo's perk. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is what I was told. He wants to remove every talisman, he wants to remove the flower minion, and he wants to remove the spirit mask from the Dark Auction. Meaning that all that is going to be left is tier 6 books, a dark purple die, Sirius's scroll and his Abiphone contact, and What else? And the pets. So there's like 8 items in the dark auction. 3 of them are books. 1 of them is a die. 2 of them are one-time purchases. Like, it ruins the dark auction. I think it was like, it, I think it was Squid or someone who said this, but like, if we want stuff to be lower in the dark auction, go to the dark auction more. He's fixing the dark auction and making stuff more accessible. No, I'm not arguing that things shouldn't be more accessible. I'm not saying that, a 300 million coin ender artifact is bad. I think his way of doing it is bad. Mask makes sense? Mask makes sense if it wasn't planned already by the admins. It's already planned by the admins. Why are we adding a perk that is planned by the admins? Listen, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't care. Listen, I would love to win the race. I would love to win top 3. I've obviously been campaigning for a reason. But I am also okay to losing to somebody who has a perk that actually like is a really good perk. Because at the end of the day, 2 years from now, no one's gonna be like, "Oh, Candypat added the capybara pet." It's, "Oh, there's a capybara pet that is really good," and that's kind of what everything, or not everything. These are what the perks are gonna be. They shouldn't be anything more than that. This is like you're changing the game forever. We're kind of doing one part to the update of it. We're removing a bunch of the DA items, but then we're not fixing the rest of the DA and adding new ones, and ah, not good. No, I'm not going to join any debate. I don't need to debate. I'm just telling the truth. I'm telling the truth of simply that I don't care who goes ahead and beats me in the election. If I lose fair and square to somebody, sure, I literally can't deny that. But I don't want to be losing over false promises and stuff that literally would ruin the game. Keep in mind, the class presidents y'all had in 4th grade always mentioned, hey, free homework, always taking field trips. Did they ever deliver on any of that? No. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. The DA is a broken system. I'm not going to deny that. I'm not going to deny that. I personally just do not believe that Lejimbo's thing of doing it is the best thing to do. Why removing DA items with all the drops and macros, the prices will go higher? I don't think that's not like fully the reason why, but in general, like we're just removing every single thing from the DA, and a third of the DA items are books that you could get every single day at your experiment table with no issue. No way admins even accept that. That is my point. That is my point with this. The class president can say, "Oh, every day is off of school." Is the principal gonna allow that? No. Are the admins gonna allow you to remove every single dungeon dialogue and remove everything from the DA? No. Have you dropped a Warden Heart with 500 Magic Find? Yes. No, maybe. I've dropped 5 Warden Hearts this time around. A little sneak peek. I could go over to my island. Got 11 Warden Hearts here. Got a bunch of stuff. Bunch of Foul Flesh. Bunch of Beheaded Hordes. Bunch of these. A few Ghoul Pets. And then a bunch of Shard of the Shreds. A bunch of Scythe Blades. A few more Severed Hands. A Reaper Gem. Some stuff. I ate my cakes I probably have, yeah. The admins have already talked about changing the dark auctions, and dungeon dialogue is a waste of time run while they be against any of it. Okay, we have to look at it this way with the dungeon dialogue thing. Okay, first of all, your point of the admins have already talked about changing the DA. That is you said the point yourself. The admins have talked about changing the DA. Why are we gonna waste a perk on changing the DA? Simple as that. Why would we? Let's make a perk of removing Spirit Masks from the DA when the admins have confirmed that is something they know is an issue and they are planning to take action of. Durelli said that he wants it to be an item that affects stuff outside of just dungeon dialogue. No, I have no idea. I've not heard from the Raelius or Jade. I've just been like hearing from the community of what they've said. But from my understanding, her perk is to remove all dungeon dialogue, meaning that right as you spawn, oh, let's put it this way, your first floor 7, first time playing, you are bombarded immediately by Maxor. Assuming you make it past Maxor without him blowing you up, Storm is already active right as you go into P2. Right as P3 starts, Maxor is already on your ass when it's your first time doing a terminal. And then P4, Necron's already aggroed onto you. And then P5, I mean, that's just like, it's just another mess where dragons instantly spawn. Removing old dialogue is not the answer. The best thing we could do if we genuinely want to do something about dungeons in that sense is updating dungeons. Problem is, admin sometimes takes years to act. Lejimbo's trying to fix a dark auction sooner. That's just not true. If they genuinely believe it's that urgent of an issue, like they know about the issue. Like I feel like it's just so weird that we would waste a perk on that of something that we know they're gonna do, and not even to mention all the other stuff that is an issue with this perk idea. We're removing half of the stuff from the dark auction. I mean, quite frankly, the spirit mask is broken. I think if I'm gonna be fully honest with you, how easy coins are and everything, 400 mil for a spirit mask, I would not even like. Obviously, you could go ahead and say I'm an elite player. I have a 30 bill purse. This is so absurdly broken of an item. I mean, I could justify it even at a 400 mil price. Granted, should it be lower? Sure. I'm not gonna deny that. Is it like top one urgent thing? Do admins believe it's admins, as much as we would like to shit talk them, they know best. And I think this is a situation where they're probably working on something that matters a little more. They probably want to do a little more than just, okay, we're going to remove the spirit mask. Instead, they're probably going to update the whole DA system. Similar, not similar to Shen's thing wasn't even that big of an update, but like, there's no reason they wouldn't revamp the whole DA. I feel like it's very in the cards for that. It's gonna be like 150. No, it's gonna be like, I feel like it's gonna be like 50 mil after the changes. Ghosts are huge money? Not really. No. Was Fear 5S's Melody perk denied? I don't think so. I saw his TikTok on it. I'm pretty sure, to my knowledge, the admins are just not responding to him. And I don't think whoever gets their minister perk, I don't think they're even gonna do anything until the last second. I think they're gonna wait for all these elections to be over, and then they're gonna go ahead and code in all the perks then. If I were to fully guess, and something that has went into my mind is that the next election we're gonna have, or well, December update is Greenhouse obviously, and then January will probably just they'll probably make this a whole update where it's just adding all of these at once, and then that's gonna be our update. Did you already win the election? I won at like number 5, which again I'm very happy to have made the minister spot. But everyone who is in here, and everyone in the minister spots below can obviously tell you the exact same thing. Being here doesn't do much. There's not much that you really change from being here. You get to obviously choose your perk. I'm glad I chose my carnival perk. Toad's probably happy with the blooming business perk, stuff like that. But you don't change much in the game, and there's obviously a bigger impact being a top 3 minister, and obviously the reason why if you get bottom 7, you're allowed to vote again. Adding a custom perk into the game is a lot more than just adding an already existing mayor perk. How do I get max garden? Uh, I would wait till the update before you actually get quote unquote max garden, but as long as you have like a full fermento set, a few farming tools, if not all of them, uh, like a mushroom cow pet, just like the basic stuff, you'll be fine for tomorrow. That's the most I'm gonna recommend. for now. Is full fermento better than 3/4? Yes. Rancher boots are, you should never use rancher boots. Even like obviously there's going to be an item now with this update that will change it to where you could set a capped speed to whatever plot you're in. But even now, assuming that update didn't roll, you would just tune your speed exactly. Biggest problem with dark auctions is Scorpius. What do you mean by that? Because I don't think it's really an issue. I mean, okay, that's like not true. I think Scorpius is an issue. Hegemonies are like 1 billion coins. Um, Granted, I think if he were to go ahead and say, hey, maybe remove that and add hegemony into every DA, maybe I'd be more on path with that. But yeah, I mean, back to the point where I'm saying that they're probably better off in not doing that, and they're like, okay, instead we're gonna go ahead and revamp the whole DA instead of the current DA. We're gonna remove half of the items, and then who knows how they're gonna be implemented into the game otherwise. It's just a whole mess. At 1.1 builds 25 mil per MP, which isn't bad at all. I mean, it's still a lot. Um, I mean, 1 billion coins is insane. I know they used to be a lot higher too in the past, but how much MP? It's more than, it's 22 MP. No, it's 44 MP. A lot more. So I guess it's not okay. It's not like again for someone it's hard really commenting on stuff like that when I don't have, like, I'm in a different state of the game where money isn't an issue for me. But like, I mean, yeah, even then, 44 MP for 1 billion coins is not that bad. But would I still argue that it could be changed? Yeah. They should just Scorpius needs a revamp too. Scorpius only has 2 perks, by the way. Every special mayor has at least 3. Every mayor has at least 3. Got wiped using your 1.120 at 1.21 Prism folder? Nope, there's nothing bannable in here. Nothing bannable in this mod folder. I'm using it. Literally, there are thousands of other people using the mod folder. If you got banned, it is not a mod's issue. You either had to have added something externally or you were cheating in some sense. Or there is the 1 in a million chance you got false banned, but also there's a lot of context I'm missing to say if it is or isn't. I don't know what you got banned for. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's another thing. Like, people, a funny thing with people getting banned is they'll always like clip the last 30 seconds before they got banned, and they're like, dude, I wasn't cheating in the clip. You could obviously see that. And then, like, people don't realize that you could get put on the list to be banned like hours to days before. And that's why when people will make like ban appeals in the forums and they're like, dude, the admins didn't look at my 30-second clip right before I got banned. They're clearly not doing their job and it's fully AI operated. No, it's more that your clip doesn't matter when they obviously have to vote for you or not vote for you. They have to ban you with evidence. So they have a file of your case with probably some recording or something to get you banned. And then on top of that, it's just a waste of time to look through clips and people like full VODs and whatever when it doesn't matter. Like, I updated my mods like 2 hours before and then I got wiped. What is your wipe message out of curiosity? Because I could guarantee you there's nothing in my mods folder that will get you wiped. Not one thing. Not even something that like would have something cheating wise. Like, not one thing. Not something that is a gray flag or anything. The most gray flag stuff is like in Sky Hanny, but Sky Hanny is obviously Sky Hanny. Like, that's not a fucking cheat. Cheating through an unfair game advantage. Yeah. Okay. So it's not a duping thing, but not even duping, but like whatever. No, it's there's nothing in this mod folder that would get you wiped or banned. Point proven. I'm using the exact same one, and so are another 1,000 or so people. Sad part is my appeal got denied 3 minutes within sending it in. Yep, my point being proven then. They probably have something on you that is so unbelievably hard to deny or prove against that they just insta ban you again. You either added something or that you literally had to have added something or you're lying in some capacity. They'll never tell you what it is. Yeah, that's like on purpose. So especially back then, right? It's even a thing now. If they were to tell you why you got banned, that is just a sign to any mod developers to change. For example, let's say you were using Killara and they gave you the blatant message of, okay, we banned your account because you're using Killara. Okay, now it's the mod developer's turn to go ahead and code their Killara mod to go around that filter that they have set up in their anti-cheat. Yeah, not to mention, if you got wiped or banned, you know why you got wiped or banned. There are few little people, like I know there's an incident a few months back where like people were actually getting false banned because it was like so many people got false banned at the time because some bullshit on the garden, and that's unironically like, yeah, okay, that's a false ban. If you're not getting a one-off false ban where you're the only person that got banned, if that makes sense. I asked when I got banned, no response. What? I just never play the Jerry event anymore. What the hell is this guys? What are you even saying, bro? You don't get false ban in the Jerry event. Like what? Hello? Like some stuff is just known to instantly ban. I mean, yeah, they definitely have stuff in place for like, okay, you're using this mod, we're not gonna allow it because we know there's like certain IDs or something in mods that the admins can see behind the scenes, and if you log in with it, you just get insta banned or something along that line. Happened to Odin back in the day where they're like, okay, we found the ID for Odin, and they banned every single Odin user, including the legit ones. Makes sense, but I've never been banned before. Well, I don't know your case fully, and I cannot physically tell if you are lying or not. I'm not saying you are, but I've been in this community for 6.5 years, and I know for a fact that every single person who says they get false banned is lying. There is the occasion of literally like once every year that there will be a wave of people getting false banned, and then I actually believe that, especially when there is valid proof and somebody could recreate the false ban, then yes, there's an active false ban at hands. But I don't think there's ever a time where someone who got wiped was 100% innocent. That's not true. Um, there was like it was like 6 months ago now. There was an issue with Skyhanny where you could click on a visitor with your vacuum or something and you would get banned and wiped for that. And it was recreatable. Many streamers got banned for it. And that is something you could look at and you're like, okay, obviously 8 people got banned with this in the past hour. Something's up. This isn't just like a normal thing. And especially if you're able to recreate it. Watchdog is not made to false ban. Watchdog, if anything, is you're not getting Watchdog banned 99% of the time. But okay, realistically, that's like not true. If you've ever seen the chat thing that pops up, it's like 50-50 between the admins and 50-50 between the admins and game masters banning. If it's a Watchdog ban, it's more than likely a cheating ban because even though stuff like Skywars has like a player count of 300, a tenth of the players are always cheating. So you just have to keep that in mind, and then realistically, any staff bans are more than likely Skyblock, and then like 10% of the staff bans are from other games. Watchdog is definitely people are gonna like lie and say, "Oh, it's so bad," but like, listen, server's a multi-million-dollar server. It's not gonna be a horrible thing. you get Watchdog banned, you have terrible cheats. Um, well, I don't know exactly how Watchdog works, but I imagine if like I no one knows how Watchdog works, but if I were to assume if it's able to catch cheats in some way, or at least notify an admin of, oh wow, this guy is making some really unrealistic movements, and then they ping the admin or some bullshit, and then they get demand. More than likely, though, if you get a Skyblock ban, I guarantee you, if I were, I could put money on it that 99% of Skyblock bans are not Watchdog. Most Skyblock bans from admins actually checking? Yep. Voted for Candypat. Can anyone build? No. I do not do bribes, sadly. Appreciate the vote, but I will not be doing bribes during this election, let alone any election, quite frankly. You should bring back staff to moderate players as well as replay reporting. I mean, that's what game masters are for. They're for banning people. If somebody gets banned by a staff member, it's 99%. Okay, I'm pulling out numbers 99% like I fucking know. But no, it's more than likely a game master. That's what they get paid to do. They get paid to test stuff, and they get paid to ban people pretty much. They are moderators, but on a payroll, so they actually do a good job and they're not corrupt. The reason why they removed mods and helpers in the first place is because people would get the rank for the perks, and then they would also be heavily corrupt with the rank. They would watch their favorite streamer. Oh, they're getting b-hopped on. I'm gonna go into their game and remove it, and no other player would get that treatment. They also weren't forced into doing any hours or anything, so they could just never moderate. Stuff like that. What are your perks? By perks, we have the Capybara pet. We have a video that we fully talked about it in, if you want to go check that out. Mayor perks, like the external perks that you could choose other than your custom perk, I'm not sure. Probably something Slayer related. I am a huge fan of the Slayer XP thing, the 25% Slayer XP thing. And on top of that, well, either we get to choose one or two perks. If it's one perk, probably the Slayer XP thing. If it's two, that's a different question. Maybe probably not Diana. I think somebody will choose Diana on their own. Who knows what that'll be. What's another time you could get banned if you're using a VPN? You still get banned for using a VPN. VPNs, if you look on their rules, are not allowed. I think, well, the way that it works, like, you will probably get IP banned, if anything. Because if they realize that you just went from New York all the way to Korea in 2 seconds, they're gonna think that somebody's on your account and they'll security ban you. Jade is doing Slayer XP again? Okay. That crosses my idea off. And then what did you say? Jules is doing slash prices. Okay, so that's kind of funny. So there's just Aatrox for 5 days. That's gonna be. I think I'll do all Aatrox for 5 days in that case. Would you do Marina? That's. I don't know. There hasn't been anyone who's done a fishing perk. But at the same time, I think rather than Marina, I think you would just go with Perkpocalypse instead of one Marina perk. Because what do you do for a Marina perk? You do the fishing festivals. I don't think many people care about that. You get more fishing XP, which is just like you get enough XP. You get more Secreture chance, which Secreture chance is not an issue, and then you get double hook chance, which is like good, but like I don't think that's worth to take the perk slot for. Also, we're 17 votes away from beating Lejimbo. Shameless plugging. If you haven't voted for Candypat, I appreciate your vote. Lejimbo, listen, I don't have beef with the guy. I do not hate the guy in any sense. Neither do I hate really anyone. But Lejimbo, quite frankly, just has false promises on what he plans to do on the DA system. If you think about it for more than a few seconds, you have to realize that removing all the talismans and the flower minion and the spirit mask from the DA quite frankly makes the DA fully useless. And not saying that the base idea on paper is bad, but the admins have already talked about changing the DA, and they should just fully leave it to the admins for that. I think the best way to go about it is tackle Scorpius. Scorpius is a very outdated mayor. They could either there's a lot to do with the DA, obviously. And I don't think that the best way to go about it is to make some band-aid change that is not a good change already, in my eyes, through this mayor system. And yeah, not fully useless because of the seal of the family. That won't change anything. I would like to fully believe. Because people are instead, there's less items in the DA, people will just start overpaying on literally anything. More people will go to the DA too, so you're just going to be paying 3 times the price for a sharpness 6 book that you're currently paying, if anything. Is Mineshaft mining still good? I think so. To my knowledge, Mineshaft mining is really good. Commissions wise and mining XP wise. I think if you do, I was told by somebody if you did a mining fiesta during all of this, you're getting 41 million mining XP an hour, which is fucking absurd. You could get from mining 0 to 60 in 3 hours. Obviously, you need a max setup for that, but like, holy shit. Jade's also doing perk apocalypse. Fuck. Well, shit. I got no perk ideas. That is good. I mean, fuck. I'm just being. I really. Listen. There's got to be a truce between all the mayor elects. Don't fucking elect Diana. We're gonna have 15 days of straight Diana. One break, one mayor break, and we could pick up on Diana again. Let's just have everyone do Slayers. I think that'd be chill. Gain 46 G-Drag levels in one Fiesta. Yeah. I mean, if I were to go do Slayers with like Rev Slayer, for example, I get so much XP on all these XP share pets. And then my main pet, which I guess I'll use a ghoul, like I'm using ghoul pet, but like the XP you get, bro. Pick Diana. Listen, that's the one thing I cannot promise is me choosing Diana. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I am not choosing. We've had 15 days of Diana. Oh my god. I don't know. Maybe a Marina perk. Maybe a Marina perk. Because if we're not choosing Diana, I mean, tracking is also a really good one. Tracking is a good one. The 10%. If anything, I might choose the 10% more stats one. Because this is really fun. If you literally do anything in the game, this is so fun. Her first Candypat as a Diana hater? I'll admit it. Okay, that's not true. First of all, Diana's a great mayor. I have max Diana. I go over Bestiary. King Minos. I'm 55 in King Minos. I'm max in Harpy, which is like 100-hour grind or some bullshit. Um like yeah, I obviously love Diana, but my point being that I think we've just had too much. Can I check? Oh my, it's too laggy. Server's not even laggy. Jade is also doing Stapocalypse. Jesus, like, okay. You only get 2 perks, I'm pretty sure. Unless they're now doing 3. I don't know if they changed that, but... If Slayer costs were cut in half... Yeah, that might be something I do, because... Wait, did somebody say they're doing Slayer cost cutting? Because Slayer cost cutting is also good. Tier 5 revs, an example, you burn through so much money. That's kind of like a counteractive to this whole aura tax perk. Dual to slash pricing. Okay, well, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go sit this one out. Actually, fucking every perk idea out the drain. Granted, to be fair, I think the way that they do it is like, okay, they ask Jade, and now they would ask Jimbo, then they would ask me. So like theoretically, if I do stay ahead of Jules, I would be able to choose that before him, and then that's his issue. But that is cool. We're just gonna have fucking full Aatrox for 5 days during all of this, bro. Oh my god. Now just think that, and no Diana. Oh my god, the game would be saved. Faster Forge. Okay. I'm actually, I think we're good on that one. 5 to 8 trucks would be so good, but RNGs would drop so much. Yeah, from what it sounds like, if everyone isn't lying with what they're saying about what other people are choosing, we're gonna have 5 days of all three 8 trucks perks. We're gonna have 10% more magic find. I mean, it's gonna be wow. Like, this is what I mean. If you're gonna play Skyblock literally ever, the past 2 weeks and the next 2 weeks are going to be the best Skyblock you'll ever play. Would Slayer cost cutting be a perk that stacks with Jerry's variant? No. Um, we learned this on pretty quickly that if Jerry has any perk, by Jerry I just mean perk apocalypse, it won't stack with any existing perk. For example, 10 tracking, or yeah, I don't know who is 10 tracking. 10 tracking is a perk that exists. Yeah, remember Quagla has it. And if it is Jerry Diana, it still only gives 10. Yeah, go get Blaze 9, Bobby. Go get Blaze 9. Literally no excuse for it. What perk will you have? It depends on what is available. That's the issue. My main thing has been Slayers. I think a 3 perk Aatrox with just like all the minister perks would be really fun. Um, just no Diana, that's for sure. No Diana. I'm gonna be so honest. Um, yeah, I don't know. I just need to see what everyone else is choosing, and then we'll go from there. The Jerry perks are obviously some of the best ones. Like, this is, I wasn't even lying when I said this the first time. The first election was just like a warm up. Everyone, like, genuinely, everyone's perks were so buns during the first one. Like, not even talking about custom perks. Like, the custom perks were alright, but I'm just talking more about the mayor perks. Two of the mayors had perks that helped with the election, which practically did nothing. And then we had Diana. Like, it just wasn't that good. It wasn't that good. That was it. Why no Diana? I want to max bestiary. Bro, Diana has been in office for 15 days. 15 days. Come on, tell me you haven't, like, come on. Do less taxes for dungeon chests? Maybe. It's not a bad call. People should be doing more dungeons. I think the 10 score thing is kind of overrated. Especially later on, if you have a good M7 party, you don't really need it. You just get to be more lazy. Do something with enchanting. I don't know if I already read that, but the fucking berry perk, the 25% more enchanting XP or whatever it was. Or what I'll go ahead and do is I could go ahead and steal Dante's perk of putting goons all around the hub, and then we could have Candypat security everywhere. Just saying. Won't do that. Kidding. I'm down. What about Jerry boxes? I if I'm not wrong, that's not even is that part of Jerry's like even is that part of his perks? I don't think that would be the best one to choose anyway, but I don't even is that part of his perks or is that just like a passive thing? I don't remember. Guys, we're 3 votes away. 3 votes away from beating Legimbo. Personally, I endorse Jules to beat Legimbo. I think that would be the world. Because I think Legimbo he needs to go back into the office and change a few things. His perks are not they're not ready to go, man. They're not ready to go. They're not ready. You know what Minister Perkpocalypse is? No idea. Maybe Marina? I have no idea though. Derpy's more skill sing is not allowed. The two things that you are 100% not allowed to choose is Derpy's 50% more skill XP bonus, and then also Scorpius's 1 million coin bribe. Everything else is on the table, to my knowledge. Thank you, Hero. What did Jules want to add? I have no idea. I have no idea. Thank you, Tactical. I appreciate it. Every vote goes a long way, man. Every vote. I mean it. Especially when there's no mayor election perks of, oh, this mayor can give this person 5,000 votes. Like, every vote goes a long way. Thank you, 4661. I appreciate it. Perks you're gonna have. We have a video on the capybara pet if you want to go ahead and learn more about the perks. Mayor perk wise, if it's not already taken, I will probably prioritize all the Aatrox perks. There's not a single bad one right now because the taxes are insane, so that one's even useful. If not, maybe less taxes on dungeon chests. Probably not Diana though. That's like only one caveat. Why don't you become the first forging minister? Bro, that's Mash Clash's job. If Mash wants to vote and get in this election, that's his job. You Dante no daylight perk? Yeah, man. Start canceling all these events. Counteract every single event, bro. Thank you, Bobby. We will get the capybara. I believe. Aren't they meant to be not be able to elect after they are once? If you mean player wise, if you're in the top 3, you can never run again. Mayor perk wise, you're allowed to constantly re-choose the same mayor perk. Diana's been shown 3 times in a row. Do techno skill XP bonus. I don't think you could do that because it's the exact same as Derpy's thing. So it's like, I don't know. Could you remove the increased taxes perk or tank gel time? I don't know if that's something I could even do. How'd you get all your money? Just playing the game. I have everything maxed in the game. If I'm not wrong, I'm not missing XP from like anything. Literally, if you just play the game and max out every part of it, you are destined to make money. Top of that, do Diana, do Hudra, do dungeons. Easy peasy makes lower F7 more bearable. It'll make people get into dungeons. I mean, give or take, yeah. I'm not saying it's a bad perk. Do I think there is better perks? Yes. I think F7 is something that's super doable nowadays. In my opinion, I think that you should just not go into F7 until you have the money to comfortably do it. You could pay to. Oh, I went to the deep caverns. That's cool. No, because you could definitely just pay to win. Even if you're cat at 24, you could pay for the best setup and not have to worry about a single thing in F7. Anyone know why the grass in Snowfall is so green? Did you download not Snowfall? I'm not. That's the only thing I could assume. Only thing I could assume. Is mining so good for money? Yeah, mining will always be good for money. I think farming during this update coming out tomorrow, more than likely, is really good. I think the farming update, from what it sounds like, somebody in chat said they made 70 mil an hour. That's insane. 70 mil an hour. That is on normal profiles, and that might change because self might get less expensive, but just to put that out there. Guys, we're 2 votes away. Okay, now we're 5. What the hell? 2 votes away from beating Lejimbo. Spread the word. Lejimbo's. Listen, if Lejimbo wants to genuinely come back with a really good perk that I genuinely believe would be good for the game, I'm all for it. But let's come on, man. Not with this DA stuff. Not with this DA. Not with this DA stuff. What's your ping? I have like 30 ping. Is that even a command I could do? Ping. It's not. There we go. 40. I guess I could go on my island. What is it? Slash social wards? No. Ping wards? Slash social ping wards. That's it, right? Yeah. What are we at? 37? Okay, that's higher than normal. Probably because I'm live. Normally it's like 20 on a good day. 30 bill purse is crazy. I just don't have anything to spend money on. That's the issue. I would go ahead and use my coins on something if I could, but I don't know. I don't know. Oh, we're tied with Jimbo. Tied with Jimbo. I would listen. I'll say it again. do not care if I lose to anyone else, but let's vote for somebody with a realistic perk. That's it. Let's vote for a realistic and useful perk. And even Jade, it's a perk that I do not believe with heavy changes to the base idea will not be added. So that's even a perk I disagree with. Again, no hate, no hate, no, this isn't like a toxic environment. I'm not hating on anyone. I'm just saying I think we gotta listen. Back in elementary school, every class president wanted the best for the students. No school, free lunches, free field trips every day. The principal is not going to allow that to happen, and the principal in this case are the admins. If they voted for you, I appreciate it. How many elections are we getting? At least another. We're currently on our fourth one. We are guaranteed a fifth one. If they do more than 5, I think that is absurd. Not to mention, if they do a fifth one, it'll quite literally... No, if they do a sixth one, it'll go into Christmas. So I do not think there will be more than 6. Or more than 5, my bad. I like Trusted Perk. I saw a short for that. I don't know if I'm a fan of that. I don't know if I really am. It's just something that's like... Especially with the RNG meter, at what point are we just stretching it? Also, thank you to everyone who put Lejimbo in 3rd place. Thank you. Thank you. Listen, perfect world, we get Jules up here. I do not believe Lejimbo has a good enough perk to run. I think his perk is very Mickey Mouse. I think his perk, people need to realize that, listen, it's not good. It's bad news. Also, come on, guys, can we not vote Refraction in? Again, free will. Like, I'm not gonna fully dictate who you vote for, but like, we had him last time. Obviously, he didn't come back to the game. Like, I don't know, man. At this point, every player gets a special perk. Yeah, I think they should have capped it at 3. I think there's no reason to do any more than 3, let alone 2, let alone more than 1. So that's a whole nother story, but appreciate it, Waterfall. Also, not to mention, again, back to the whole logistics thing. With these mayor perks, we can't just keep adding magic find and magic find and magic find. I swear to God, every single mayor perk has some type of increased magic find. If I'm not wrong, I believe the admins have said they wanted to nerf magic find. If I'm not wrong, if they haven't said it, that is something they should do, because currently I'm getting 600 magic find doing Diana, which I think is fucking ridiculous. And that is something that just needs to be changed. Skyblock Elite molding. It's not molding. I'm not mad or anything. I'm just stating literally what I think is best for the game. Like, we're just gonna keep adding Magic Find, and then we're gonna look back in a year, and it's like, what the hell? Why, guys? Why do I have 900 Magic Find going for a Kim book, and why are Kim books 10 million coins? Well, maybe it's because every single minister added a 10% increased Magic Find talisman. Which, granted, 10% Magic Find increased talisman, I think somebody's running with that. That would not be added into the game. 10% Magic Find is fucking absurd. I think that's Jules' perk, if I'm not wrong. I'm actually looking this up because I don't... Let me see. Jules. Jules Hypixel Skyblock. Okay, no, I lied. Okay, it's not that bad. Increases Magic Find. Okay, so plus 2 Magic Find. I thought it was 10% Magic Find. My bad. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Admins would have gained a lot of information from this aura. That is something, whether they want to use it correctly or not, I think if the admins have been active in the community, they've realized what the players want more than anything. And again, this is a thing with the whole Jimbo thing, like, maybe it's a good publicity stunt, and then maybe he doesn't actually change anything to the DA, and then hopefully just brings what's it called? Brings talk to the admin table to push a DA update quicker. But no, no one has. I don't think anyone has a 10% magic find increase. I think that was bullshitting with that. But like, point being said, yeah, we like I don't know, stuff like that for just general any major stat increase. This is my big thing with the capybara pet. The capybara pet is not game breaking at all. The capybara pet might, if anything, be a little lackluster, and that's because I know that the perks are going to be added, not sacrificed anyway, and with the current way that everything is, I'm currently happy with it. The bestiary thing might be the one thing that the admins might be a little like iffy on, because 25% bestiary is a lot, but at the same time, no one likes bestiary grinding, and it's very repetitive to kill your 10,000th whatever the hell. Like, no one needs to kill 1,000 Bayou Sludges ever, and this pet would help in that regard. It also nerfs you because you can't use a golden dragon or something to level it, so you're getting nerfed in that regard. And then on top of that, you are also getting more chance for a die drop. Check the top 3. I'm here, bruh. Building the lead on Legimbo. He's got a cool name to say, though. I like his name. Legimbo. They can nerf it to 10% more bestiary. Exactly. Compared to, like, I think that is something where it's just like, okay, 10% more bestiary is still good. Like, 10%, no one's going to complain about 10% bestiary. And then the whole die thing, like, I think my die thing is honestly perfect because I don't think you need to increase the die rates. I think more dies would go a farther way. Especially like right now, I know there are people, including myself, who is going for a RNG meter die. You could use the capybara pet on the RNG meter die and get up to 2 dies. Literally does not affect your gameplay at all going for the die, but as you just RNG meter it, you could get 2. What's his perk? Legimbo's perk is to ruin the Dark Auction. That's it. They keep it short. He's planning to ruin the Dark Auction. What? Okay, does anyone know what? I don't look into this too much. What did Kudra even promise? Can somebody tell me what he promised? Ruin is a strong word. No, ruin is the accurate word. I'll quickly explain it. There's gonna be 8 items left in the Dark Auction. 3 of them are books. 1 of them is a die. Where there's 4 useful items in the DA, and they're all just gonna be the same story where everything's gonna be more expensive than normal because there's less items now for people to go ahead and buy the seal the family with. And yeah, they need to make a whole change to the DA system, and that's the only thing. Promised a pet to help with hunting and increases hunting fortune. Did he give any perks or no? Or is that just a baseline? Ruining it when it's bad to begin with? Yeah, but we're making it... It's a bad current system. I'm not denying that. I'm being fully honest. I think the DA is not a good system. But the point being said that... What's it called? This is a band-aid fix that is leading to more issues. This perks on his IS. The Eagle Pet. 25 hunting fortune. Already don't think this will happen. 50 strength, that's not my 50 strength and speed doesn't matter. Hunting haste makes the black hole hunt 50% faster. Not the worst thing. Block mentality gives 2 hunting fortune for every other eagle pet on the island. Not sure if I like that because it's just an insane amount of hunting fortune. Old Fusion have an additional 10% chance to double shard outputs. Cronus grants 30 hunting wisdom. Completely fucking broken. Completely broken. If I'm gonna be fully honest with you, that we were talking about this the other stream when we were talking about my pet, the capybara pet. We're talking about possibly making it a hunting pet. Never my my whole thing was never to make it a specific hunting pet, but like maybe like I wanted 5 hunting fortune to my pet. Um, the reason why I do not think they will add that pet or they will heavily nerf it is simply due to the fact that we're only at stage 1 of the forging update. There's no way they leave hunting at only level 25 and in the state that it is in. The main reason I didn't want to add a hunting pet myself is because that's going to conflict with how the admins are going to update hunting. What type of pet is the capybara? Well, I'm planning to make it a taming pet, yes. Doesn't even break 100 hunting fortune. It's like what? You could get if we get a full lobby, and this is it could easily be abused. A full lobby, let's just say that gives an extra, so like 45 hunting fortune. All fusions have a 10% chance to double, and then 30 hunting wisdom. That's gonna be nerfed. Come on, bro. This is stage 1 of the hunting update. If you think that they didn't add, like, okay, okay, yeah, we'll see, we'll see. I mean, if it gets added, I will genuinely be shocked, but I do not wholeheartedly believe it'll be added. Are there other taming pets? Yes, there is the owl pet. It works the same way as like literally you just gain taming XP and a level. It's not like anything over the top. Oh, that's a parrot pet. Yeah, taming pet. Can you make capybara work in the pet menu? Do you mean passive? Probably not. One of the perks is passive. The other two I do not believe should be passive. One as if you were to make the Iron Man perk, I'm just naming it that, passive, that would heavily ruin coal other than the fact that it doubles your ores, as there will be an influx of both the glossy and mineral as people are mining. Even if you nerf it at a 20 times multiplier, people will mine so much in between coals that it literally won't matter to stay up for coals for that specific reason. And then my third perk of bestiary and die hunting leads a little bit of a punishment to get a little bit of gain. I want a personal savager. I think somebody's running for that, honestly, but I think that would be more of a mess than is really useful, if I'm going to be fully honest. As an Iron Man player, I don't like the idea of making an update that solely fixes an Iron Man problem with a bandage patch. What do you mean by that? Are we talking about my perk, or are we talking about something else? When is the primordial belt fix? Never. Never. Genuine. They tried to day one patch it and then they forgot about it. Jimbo's perk. If we're talking about Jimbo's perk, yeah, I fully agree with you. It's a bandage patch for it's a bandage patch for something that should be changed with a higher quality update in the future. I was talking about turning into handles into RNG meter and whatever that perk was. Yeah, I also don't like that. That is another perk that I genuinely am like. I don't like. It just doesn't seem right with RNG meter already in the game. Like, we're just making the game way too baby proof. Where, oh, you dropped one scroll, oh, no, you could salvage it, and then you just don't have to play the game anymore because you're able to just salvage it for another one. Like, I think those updates ruined the entire point of the Iron Man. I fully agree with that. I fully agree with that. I'm not an Iron Man player, so obviously I don't have as much like hatred, not even hatred, but like dislikeness, I guess, in the sense of, oh wow, it's ruining my game mode or whatever. But I mean, as an Iron Man player, I would be fully mad if, oh, it's supposed to be this game mode of you play it for a long time, and the people who play it are known for these long grinds and going for getting a Hyperion is a cool thing. And now it's like, okay, you see an Iron Man with a Clover helmet and a Hyperion. It's like, wow, that guy paid 500 mil for a Clover helmet. Wow, that's cool. Same thing with the cosmetic auction house. I haven't heard much about it. I haven't heard literally anyone talk about that. Can I? I'm going on the Iron Man profile. I've never even like looked at this because I don't play Iron Man. How does it even work? Cosmetic browser, manage bids, Iron Man notice. Cosmetic. Like, does anybody on the Iron Man profiles even use this shit, bro? Be for real? English, holy shit. Does anyone use this, man? Cosmetic H is fine. The one argument that I don't like about it is that where does dies? Um if you are a die hunter and you drop any of these on Iron Man, it invalid like obviously you have the Vincent S NPC, but you could just buy any die you want. And I think that's kind of lame. Obviously, I'm not an Iron Man player. I'm not going to go ahead and say that like the Iron Man players don't want this. I'm not going to give my input on that, but I think it's just a little lame. That's my opinion. Chocolate dye into bucket of dye, that's very small. Like, Chocolate Factory is not a worry on Iron Man anymore, man. Ooh. Chocolate Factory is such a joke of a whole thing. Obviously, it's an April Fool's like update. Like it quite literally is a joke. Iron Man is meant to be a reg profile without BZ and H. I don't know why people want to change that and make it easier. Yeah, that too, and it's also like if we're talking main profile changes, the amount of weirdness that's gonna bring in the sense that you look at scrolls, right? These all have different prices. Okay, well, like Wither Shield is a little higher. Normally, it's like Shadow Warp will be a lot lower, and then Wither Shield will be higher, and then Implosion will be higher. Stuff like that exists in the game where now it's gonna even out those prices, and then it's also gonna be weird for a handle. Like, what you sacrifice a handle, and then you could get how many scrolls? Like, I don't know. I think that's a little weird. That's just my opinion on it. I think people want the Iron Man game mode to be too easy. And personally, I just believe if you my biggest thing that I don't see enough people doing is making a normal profile and playing, just having fun with your own rules. Like, I think that's how it should have been. Obviously, some Iron Man changes are definitely good. I'm not going to deny that, and have been good for normal profiles too. But if you want to bend the rules and you don't like how something is on Iron Man, just make your own normal profile and play with your own rules. Will DA perk make hegemony prices rise or drop? They will stay the same. They're literally, to my knowledge, it's just for the base dark auction. Even then, if we remove the hegemony, because his whole thing has been removing the hegemony artifact or other talismans. If he removes the hegemony artifact, we're making Scorpius even more useless. Even more useless. Also, it's like, where do you implement because like this item has been worth billions of coins forever. Where do you implement this into the game where you don't ruin the value to literally 20 mil? Where do you implement this? That's why they added an option to de-iron. I think de-iron's a great feature. I think rather than complaining about, oh, this needs to be changed or whatever, just de-iron. No one's forcing you to be on an Iron Man profile. Like, um, I mean, me personally, I'm not like, oh wow, you're an Iron Man. This is crazy. You have this stuff. I just okay. I just look at your gear. If you have gear, sure, that's like cool. I think Iron Man has come very devalued of what it once was. Like if we look at Fearless back in the day and his Iron Man profile, that shit was mad impressive. Now it's like, okay, Iron Man with the dragon pet. Wow, you get a dragon pet every 70 dragons compared to before where you get one epic like every multiple hundred. Would you do Finnegan for the update? Is there a Finnegan perk that would be really good? If there is a Finnegan perk that's really good, I'll. What is Finnegan's perks? Let me Google this. Uh, I don't know if the 10% copper. I mean, maybe the 10% copper. I guess no. Actually, I think this perk. Well, no, I think this perk from Toad is actually perfectly fine because it'll last for another 3 days, and the update comes out tomorrow. Um, let's see, what is Finnegan's perks even? So you have Blooming Business, you have Goaded, which is the farming contest, which isn't like that good. Apocalypse, not good for this update, and then uh the increases Pest Hunter Phillips farming fortune bonus, and pests are more likely to spawn. The only good perk, in my opinion, would be blooming business. I think that's the other ones are kind of meh. I don't know. I've seen this guy a lot in lobbies. I'll slash Slayer prices or slash Slayer prices or Diana if I get top 7 and a new talisman if I reach top 3. What does this mean? What new talisman? You gotta tell us more, man. If I'm not wrong, you could link Hypixel forum posts in all chat. Like, you gotta build a bigger case. The Pest one would be good. It wouldn't be horrible, but like, I don't know if we. I mean, it's not like the worst thing, quite frankly. I might choose that one, but also at the same time, I think this is the best. This is the best bang for your buck perk if we're talking about all 4 of them, because there's 40 new visitors. People need a lot more copper, and you also get the unique visitors, which people probably care for a little more now because I think you need every single visitor for XP. Just max my Pest bestiary, and they're gonna add 7 more. Yeah, 7 more. I meant 5 more. I don't know how the new Pest work. I haven't really looked into that. I'm just gonna learn it as the update comes out. Yeah, there's 5 new ones. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're probably. That's a good point. The Finnegan perk is really good. It's not that bad of a perk. We'll see with the update rolling. Because the update should come out tomorrow, and then we'll have another 2 days to think about it. No one is getting top 7 off of chat spam. That is another truth nuke. That is another truth nuke. You should definitely, if you plan on running, you gotta do something content-wise. Decided what perks you want. Mayor perk-wise, we're probably gonna go with something Finnegan-related. If not blooming business, probably the extra pest perk. That makes pest spawn 4 times easier or whatever, 4 times more common. And then we have the Cappy Bar Pet as our custom perk. If you got a Vang, I'm here, bro. I've been waiting. What are we looking? Where do we have up? Why is Daphne up here? Alawi. I think Alawi had the something about dungeons and like auto salvaging, which is like better than Legimbo's perk. To be determined. I don't know his perk. Cal doesn't have a perk. I don't know who Derplunk is. Aland, I think his perk is like alright. I think it might be too much. I actually don't fully remember. Jules' perk is not bad. And then me and Jade. Jade's perk I still don't really like. But I mean, it's like impossible that she doesn't get top 3. A book sack? Is that what he recommended? A book sack? I don't know if that's just the best. That's like, eh. Well, no, they couldn't add a book sack because that would you can't make a sack with stackable items or unstackable items. That wouldn't work. Auto combine books that wouldn't work either. How would that work? What do you mean auto combine books? You get 2 rejuve books and it automatically combines? Like that's like let's be real for a second. That's a little weird. Everyone's doing Slayer perks and sharing is caring might be good. That is another good perk, but I mean yeah. There's so many good perks. There is so many good perks to choose from. That's the issue. You slash a recipe crafter thingy for books instead. That's not. That would probably work. That would work. Do I think that should be a custom mayor perk? No. Who are you talking about, L2? Who are you talking about? The 2 perks. Or is not doing Diana? I haven't done Diana since I'm Max Bestiary. Do we know? Yeah, her perk is it's something with like removing every dungeon dialogue in the game or some weird like that. Just no. I'm pretty sure what it is just removing every bit of dungeon dialogue in the game. Which we talked about this before. Imagine you're playing F7 and you instantly spawn in and boom, Maxer's already on your ass before you're getting crystals, and then you spawn into P2 immediately getting ready to crush Storm with no mobs cleared out, and then instantly you're onto terminals where Maxer's already on your ass before you could get to Simon Says, and then like, oh my god. Not to mention, I think if that would be the... No, that wouldn't kill pre-4. Never mind. Would be good to do if you're max Slayers and Cata 50. Class average 50. If you're not max skills, do Diana. Go for something in RNG meter if you're an Iron Man or you don't have like a Devon drill or something. We're doing drags last night. Polar need bestiary, so I might as well tag along. Dragons are fun though. Dragons are very fun. I don't know, man. A lot to fucking... I mean, we're not going to see any of these mayor perks for like another... I would argue another month if we're going to be fully honest. I don't know. Is an 8-eye dragon worth to do? I don't think so. No. I don't know. We just... Listen, again, I'll say it again and I'll say it again. I don't care who I lose to. Just, if I lose to somebody who has more invalid... Not invalid, but like... unreasonable perks, I'm a fan with that. Do you think Kim books are gonna stabilize again? They're like stabilized at 40 mil. After oldest Diana shit, they'll probably go back up to like 50. Assuming there's no Diana for a while. The January update, that's yeah. It'll probably be the January update because all the admins are busy over the holidays, so I imagine they don't have anything ready. Really do Diana? No, trust me, I think I dropped like 40 Kim books, like not as much as other people, but like I'm so sick and burnt out of Diana. Oh my god. We have a full video on what my pet will do. Again, you cannot go ahead and stretch everything to be the most overpowered thing. Every single person has been voting for... When you look at it this way, a lot of people's things are all just, okay, I want to go ahead and add this new talisman that gives this amount of Slayer XP and this amount of skill XP and this amount of magic find. How many more talismans of the exact same thing, just reworded, are we going to have in the game by the end of this election? You had 600 magic find already? No, because you needed a kill combo for it at the time. You probably don't anymore, but... Yeah, no, that's happened before, Lops. Hopefully I didn't like butcher your name. No, people have done that before. Interest perk, he campaigned for a really like his whole Coliseum thing. Got denied, obviously, because it's just so over the top. Who else? What else was in that election even? Well, I think it was just his perk. And then now, like, every single election, people are just doing the most for what they want. I think my pet, respectfully, I'm not even just saying this out of like, oh yeah, it's my idea. It's of course going to be the most balanced and best thing to implement into the game. No, I don't think there's a single thing on my pet that's like necessarily broken. Maybe a number on it, like maybe they'll probably... worst case scenario, the only thing that gets changed on my pet is the whole bestiary and die thing gets changed to like 10%. People would have voted for interest regardless of the perk. That is not fully true. The first election, I'm not saying he didn't have a chance to run, but I do think he would have gotten a lot less votes and would have made that more... The reason I didn't really campaign for the second election is because from the get-go, I was already outbeaten by 3 people. The Goon, Fear 5S, who's backing from the whole dungeon community over his one perk idea. And then also you had the Goon, Interest, and Fear 5S. which I physically couldn't beat those if I tried. And then I got fifth that election, so I couldn't run in the third one. The first election, you got beat out by 30 by Technodad and by Future, which you also just couldn't physically beat them out. I don't know. People were choosing OP perks to get voted in. Exactly. I guarantee I could go ahead and probably get myself up to, okay, I don't know if number one, but like I could have probably placed higher in other elections if I went ahead and just gave the most blatantly obvious, like, fuck it, drop everything, 100% RNG meter for the whole of 2026. Could say that. Could say that. And what, like, you know, by the way, when you join F7 with new players, sometimes the dialogue is very slow, so you know the dialogue isn't the same for everyone already, right? That's only for the first completion. The issue with that compared to this is that slows it down, and it slows it down. So you will eventually, it just takes longer, and it's not like it will change the boss fight at all. With removing all the dialogue, you are changing it in the way that everything is going to be sped up immediately. And not only does that, like, it doesn't need to happen. That's like a perk that, yeah, getting go being the class president, yeah, I could go ahead and no homework for the rest of the year. Is that realistically the best thing? Are the children going to become undereducated? Yes. That's how it's same situation here. The best perk doesn't just mean that it's going to be like, yeah, the best perk doesn't just fully mean that it's the easiest, okay, make this change. Yeah, it's going to save a minute and a half per run. Nothing else is going to go wrong. This guy's insane. Is that an actual Devon's ally? Probably. Yeah. With blood mobs isn't that OP because top parties gain from it. Well, it's a way of adding it. If we're talking about how, what's his name, Flame of War try to add it through a talisman, physically could not work because everyone's gonna have different amount of blood mobs per boss room. And then Jade, the way that she wants it in is that it's just a flat perk, and which, yeah, I mean, it would work, but at the same time, it would mess a lot of people up. It's something that no one has really complained about. I don't think there's a single person who's like, damn, we're doing M7 in 5 minutes? Too slow, man. We need to make it 3.5 minutes. No one's ever said that. Dungeons should be left alone to rot and just fully forget about. Should I buy Judgment Core and Warden Heart now? Yes. 100%. Also, 1,000 votes. We have passed the Jimbo by over 100. Thank you. Again, every vote goes more than a long way, more than you literally ever know. I sound like a fucking broken record, but like, yeah. I won't make the Re26 PB. Yeah. And then we could have M7 people who are doing M7 for the little bit of, oh, there's still a little bit of profit. Yeah, you'll be making 30 mil an hour being outbeat by a guy who's in the Rift currently farming Wilted Berberis. So doesn't need to be removed from the game. There's a lot of strategies in M7 too that currently also rely on the NPC dialogue. Can you remind me what the perk will be the capybara? We have a video to go more in depth, but from start to the beginning, there's an Iron Man perk that will bring a constant flow of limited time items into the game. There is a custom perk on there of my own that will introduce jolly prizes into the game. It sounds like a gimmick, but it's honestly, it adds a lot of interesting things into the game. And then including a talisman, not like an OP talisman. It's like, I think it's an uncommon or a rare talisman. And then the last perk will increase bestiary and the chance to double a die drop, which both are perfectly balanced in my mind, as you are playing to a negative using the capybara pet, going for either bestiary or a die drop. I like the Iron Man perk too, because it's like, it's not overpowered in my opinion, but at the same time, it's more efficient to go for that than waiting for Cole to reappear. So I don't like the idea of even, I like, listen, if we're gonna be fully honest, like, Obviously, my opinion isn't the only one that matters, but I do not think that we should change the dungeon dialogue literally at all. I don't know. We'll see. Like, obviously, the same thing with like Kuja's perk. I think there is a lot of stuff that will not make it into this game, as the creators have been promising you. Um, I think that his perk, like specifically, this one will be nerfed heavily. Just perks like that all around. I don't know. Do you think Iron Man should have their own dark auction? No. I think the dark auction should be changed completely. They should revamp it. I'm not sure how. I'm not a game designer. But I think they should fully change it and rechange Scorpius and change a lot of stuff. Add new items, remove a few. It shouldn't be through Lejimbo's perk. I'm glad Lejimbo's speaking up about it. It's like definitely something that should be changed, but not through his perk. His perk is very a bandage perk to something that should be a lot larger. You with the alloy dropped it in 6 runs. Nice, man. Good start to the Iron Man. Alright, I think I am pretty much done. I'm just like a broken record. I've been repeating the same stuff. If you can, spread the word, vote for Candypat. If we get top 3, I will be more than fine with that. If we lose to somebody with a good enough perk that isn't Mickey Mouse, I'm also fine with that. But listen, if we could get on the top 3, that'll be cool. 4th election. Finally on the podium. Thank God. Thank everyone. Alrighty. I will probably keep this a little more consistent. Keep the word going. Again, any suggestions, if you have any ideas, if you want anything changed to the Capybara Pet, I'm all ears. Nothing has been submitted in any sense to any higher up. So this is all just word of mouth. But, yeah. Alrighty, I'm done. Vote Candypat. Spread the word. Thank you. Good night.